Good morning and welcome to episode 1194 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, April 24th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us today. Wes has a whole bunch of stuff about the world being in retrograde right now in the cup of coffee in the big time. I'm excited to learn what retrograde is in general.
What does that mean?
And also the rest of it. Yeah.
Well, it means things are a little wacky right now.
Okay. I believe that.
Retrograde.
I believe that.
Yeah.
That's if you know what retrograde is, you can pick up weird chicks at the bar so easily.
Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you exactly what it means in a minute, and we'll get into some crazy stories. Yeah, it is. It's because I've never known until I looked it up today what the fuck that means.
I believe I still don't know, so I'm excited to find out. And I believe it is. Like look at my look. I have a handlebar mustache and I'm wearing an exploding whales.
I love it.
You're in retrograde.
So I believe it's in retrograde.
The exploding whales merch. The merch showed up, huh?
Yeah, finally. About
awesome.
5 months after I ordered it. But better late than never.
That's awesome.
That's a surprise, actually. Something you forgot you ordered.
Yeah.
And speaking of surprises, I've got a quick surprise corner on deck with some real shocking surprises in there to wake you up this Monday. Whoa, hey, that's a surprise.
Monday.
Surprise.
It's like getting a bunch of emails when you show up to work. You're like, oh great, surprise.
Right.
That's a bad surprise.
Oh, don't worry about
500
those emails.
emails.
I'll tell you more about that later too.
Ooh, retrograde. Nice. It's a way to get out of emails. I'm interested. And to close it out, Mark's in the hole with, I didn't clear this with you before, but hopefully it's okay to say, an angry cuckold.
Yeah, because someone else was in the hole. I'm not the only one in the hole. Yeah, he's not happy. We'll get to him. Yeah, poor guy. He's a poor bastard, really.
Poor bastard.
Yeah,
Man,
That's bad. Yeah, when you
It's
get cucked
bad.
and it makes the news, when we get cucked to the level it makes the news, it's not good.
Yeah, and his reaction just makes it worse.
if you can be called a cuckold and it's true at any point in your life, like that's just bottoms.
Yeah, and you're arguably the villain of the story still.
Oh no,
That's bad.
It's a real ace in the sleeve. If
Oh
someone can
yeah,
call
we're
you a
gonna
cuckold.
end. We're gonna end on a story where you can be like, "Oh, I'm glad this isn't me on a Monday."
I need that.
Yeah,
I always need those.
yeah.
we all need that to start the week.
Yeah.
That's good. You guys have a good weekend. Speaking of starting the week,
Yeah, I mean, I had a good weekend, but I kind of messed up. We watched We watched Ghosted, and it was my recommendation. So now I can't be trusted for picking anything ever again because I don't even trust myself. After no, it's good. Forget what the critics are saying. It's going to be good. Don't watch Ghosted. Do not. It's the new streaming movie that came out with that hot chick Anna from Knives Out that was dating Ben Affleck for a little while. The really hot Spanish chick, and then Chris. What's it called? Chris, one of them, the guy who played Captain America.
Okay. Evans. Oh, his movies since Marvel have been.
Oh my god,
bad.
It's so bad.
Whoa,
Ghosted.
so another bomb for him, huh?
Yeah, it's something. It's a genre of
A
horribleness.
romantic comedy with Chris Evans.
Yeah, you could say that if you want to call it that. Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's bad.
I don't know. Yeah.
He should have not given up the Captain America role. I'm
No.
gonna go ahead and say that right now.
No.
That's got to be
That's the
regret.
dumbest move in the history of cinema.
Yeah.
One of the when you consider the films he made right afterwards.
Yeah.
Whoa.
If you watch Ghosted, you're not casting that dude in anything anytime soon.
Yeah. Someone should have told him to chill out on his ambition, his acting ambition.
Yeah.
Just stay in your lane, pal.
Put on the Captain America
Yeah.
suit.
Right.
Pick up the
Work
shield,
out.
buddy.
Yeah.
His steroid dealer should have talked him off the ledge. Come
Yeah.
on, man. You sure?
Sure you want to really act? Okay.
This is a lot
Yeah.
sweeter, right? Just
That's on me. That was on me. I'm in trouble with the recommendations now. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's 1 for 1, isn't it? Like, you get one, then she gets one, and you get
Right,
one.
but now I'm hoping I'm gonna have to like lie.
Right,
and
but
be
he's
like,
gotta-
I'm gonna
he's gotta
have to
bounce
pretend
back
like her next
now.
choice is horrible,
Well, shit,
even if I
yeah.
like it. Yeah.
That'll start a fun path.
Yeah.
Start a fun back and forth there.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I worked a wedding just all day Saturday. But I brought Cam, and then my lady Kate was coordinating. So it was like a family affair. And then it was a long ass day, but everyone was there with me, so it was cool. Out in the country,
Nice.
Beautiful fucking day to be outside. So it was
It's
great.
been good weather.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you?
Hey, shout out to listener Ben from Chico, California. He stopped by. He was on a beer sales run through Reno last Friday. He stopped by for Farmer's Brewery, fastest growing beer in California, by the way.
Whoa.
And it's part of the Heart of Hive. Dropped me off some delicious.
That's awesome.
Nice. Hell yeah. Beautiful.
That's a surprise.
Yeah,
It is.
nice surprise. Fantastic surprise.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, anything else? You want to just hop into the news? Let's do the news on this
Let's
fine
do it.
Monday. Here we go.
Let's do it.
We're recording Sunday, but you know.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
First up, for all of our listeners out there named Brandon, it is Happy National Brandon Day. So, you know, congratulations. Today is your day. It's Brandon Day. So let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon, right?
Mhm.
So Brandon paid $1,000 to get
Exactly.
this day.
Some Brandons got together and they said, fuck it. And
You guys want to do Brandon's Day?
Yeah.
I know like
That's-
one cool Brandon.
Brandons
There's
are
some good
okay, but
Brandons.
what if
What I
I don't
fear,
know many Brandons.
what I fear is a group of 10 Brandons all together, like the one that started this, and that to me is a little scary. 10 Brandons.
it's got vibes of what is it, the Josh competition where all the Joshes get together and hit each
Brandon
other.
and Josh go hand in hand. You're right.
Yeah. Remember Josh?
Going head to head.
They have like thousands of Joshes come to a field and they hit each other with like styrofoam things, and it's like a LARPing event. And the winner of the Joshes, it's one of those names. It's really
They're the
stupid.
same. They're the same person.
It's always like
different
a
name.
child. They let a 5-year-old Josh beat men in this. Yeah.
My brother
Men who are taking it too seriously and
Right.
actually beating each other up.
Yeah. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Also, National Skipping Day. So I celebrated that earlier by skipping around the block, and was told that if my neighbor, that if he ever sees my fat queer ass skipping in front of his house again, he's going to shoot the little dog that he was sure I have.
Yeah, which you do.
Which I do. Yeah.
And had it been 3 or 4 years ago, you would have been skipping around with a Bud Light too, which is so gay.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
God.
Your
You're
drink of
right, I
choice.
would have been.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Wes,
Oh,
it's a
man.
good thing, man, that this didn't happen back then.
Well, you know, I switched to Miller at the end. Like
Did you?
I was pounding Miller Lights at the very end. Miller
That was
Lights
the
and
tipping point.
Heinekens.
See, Bud Lights were fine. It was Miller Lights. that
Yeah,
screwed you.
Miller set me over. They were just too easy to drink.
Too
They just
easy.
went down. Yeah.
It's like an ad for them. They're so good.
Case of Miller
you'll
was
hit,
no
you'll hit
problem.
rock bottom if you.
Yep. So okay.
Oh, wait,
Also-
real quick before we move on, Jack on youtube.com/hardfactornews. If you want to watch the live tapings, you can make live comments like Jack right here. He says, who wins, Brandons versus Brendons? And I'm going to go ahead and say unequivocally Brandons in a physical fight. Now, a
Yes.
match of wits, I would say the Brendons might have a shot, but a physical
Yes.
fight, I think overall the Brandons are going to be stronger.
100%.
I do
agree.
know some good Brendan fighters, but I know more good Brendan thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
than
I'm with you.
fighters.
I think
And
that's
Brandons seem across the board to be like, pretty physical.
They're all too physical, if you ask me. Brandons are on the
They're
the
go-hards.
realm. They're too physical. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like Josh's, they're go-hards.
yeah.
Yeah, all the way.
They'll guard you like the Dickens in a basketball game. Score no points, but they
Oh,
will
yeah.
guard the shit out of you.
Which then leads to a fight because
Yeah. Yeah.
I got him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Pests. Pests.
Yeah.
out
lots
there.
of bricks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tons
Can't
of
shoot for
blocks.
shit, but they'll
No.
glove you all game.
Steals. Yeah.
We're not even playing right now. Get away from me. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. All right, guys. As I said, in
It wasn't a foul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Josh, you're all over me.
Yeah. This is no fun, Josh.
Yeah. You
You're
see
sweating
Josh
like a
and
pig
just,
too.
just keep driving. Yeah.
Sweating all over you. Oh man. All right. As I said at the top of the show, retrograde. Mercury is in retrograde for the next few weeks till May 14th. And if you are like me, that means nothing. But to crazy people who believe in astrology, it's huge. I once dated a girl who every time Mercury went into retrograde, she would fuck a stranger and then blame it on a planet 60 million miles away.
Whoa. That's a good excuse.
And Mercury goes into retrograde just a few too many times to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every year. Yeah.
You found out that it's a couple times a year that this happens.
It's 4 times a year. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot to
After the 3rd retrograde, you start to get a little.
You Googled it. You're like, Mercury's not even in retrograde right now.
October again, huh? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I didn't know what it even meant, but I asked ChatGPT in case you want to know what these whores and morons say they believe is happening until May 14th. Yep. And it said Mercury in retrograde refers to a phenomenon in astrology where the planet Mercury appears to be moving backward in its orbit, as seen from the perspective of Earth. So that's kind of like a side back and forth thing.
This happens.
Yeah, it's weird. This happens 3 to 4 times a year for around 3 weeks each time. And some idiots believe that during this period, Mercury's influence, again, 60 million miles away, on Earth is disrupted, leading to a variety of negative effects. And they can include communication problems, misunderstandings, technological glitches, travel delays.
So it's just an excuse.
It's just an excuse. Oh, it was retrograde.
Mercury's in retrograde.
It's like bad luck. It's like an excuse for having bad luck.
It's like what we used to do with the locust.
The cicadas.
Cicadas. We blamed everything on the cicadas.
Yeah. Anything that happened during cicada year, which is once every 7 years.
We're late to work. Cicadas.
Overrun with cicadas. You blame everything. Yeah, so Mercury in retrograde, it's really just for people who make a lot of mistakes and like to blame shit on stuff.
Yeah, right. And for crazy women who just say, I'm just extra crazy right now, you're going to have to deal with it because Mercury's in retrograde. And I'm
4 times a year, I can cheat on you and you can't say anything.
Right.
That's a pretty sweet deal for them.
It was a nice deal for her, yeah. But good news for people that think Mercury being in retrograde just makes them hungry, and that is that Wendy's is celebrating this retrograde thing with some free food. It's all in the app, but PSA from April 24th, which is today, to the 30th, you can score a free crispy chicken sandwich with any purchase. From May 1st to 7th, free 6-piece crispy or chicken nuggets, and then from May 8th to May 14th, closing out, you can get a free fry with any purchase. So just some drown your sorrows, drown your whore sorrows with some fries and some free nuggets.
Really unhealthy, though. Wendy's is like, hey, you know what? Yeah. Do some emotional eating with us.
That's right.
Mercury's in retrograde, but fuck it. Why don't you just put on 10 pounds,
I'm
That's
in.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why not?
Right before summer.
Yeah.
Your diet's in retrograde.
Yeah, beach season's coming up, but who the fuck cares?
Free
Mercury's
calories.
in retrograde.
Yeah.
Retrograde. Yep. Everything's in retrograde.
You're gaining weight and she's out screwing someone else.
But at least you got free fries, right? Right?
That's right. Keeping with the retrograde theme, great news for retrograde whores who get pregnant by mistake during retrograde. The U.S. Supreme Court on Friday blocked the lower court's decision banning or limiting the FDA-approved use of the abortion pill mifepristone, aka abortion in pill form, because it's still an abortion, let's be honest, for this foreseeable future. Not judging, let's just be honest with ourselves here. This means that for now,
this is the Texas judge, right? Or the federal
there
judge?
was so how okay, so I don't know how it works, but these judges are on power trips. They make a ruling, then another judge, another state makes another ruling, and then they make a ruling that just and it affects the whole fucking country. And they're just like these like little Fifth Circuit appeals judges. I don't
saying lifelong appointments to judges is ridiculous.
It's crazy. That's why it was Trump appointed a shit ton of them. He was smart to do it.
The most important position in the world. Yeah.
Well, Trump gets credit for that, but it was really McConnell's plan.
Well, he also appointed a bunch of these lower judges, these lower district judges.
That's how you get what you want. Is you put people that have the same train of thought as you in the judging position.
You think the guy with like the turkey? Yeah, the guy who looks like a human turkey. Yeah. He figured that out a long time ago.
He did. He knew how important judges were.
Right. Yeah. Well, these are some mighty fine positions.
They're in for life, though. For life.
Yeah, no experience. So this means for now that the abortion drug will be available, at least in states where abortion is legal for up to 10 weeks into pregnancy. And again, I don't know how the judicial system works, all these fucking courts, but the justices left the case in the hands of the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which has scheduled oral arguments in the case for May 17th. However, the Fifth Circuit rules the case will go back to the Supreme Court with a potential decision in the next term. And it's all about the pill, how many weeks in the pregnancy it can be used, if it can be used at all, if you need to see a doctor so many times in person before you can get it, or in the mail, or video call, generic forms of it. A lot of restrictions on this thing are up for grabs and at stake. And the dissenters were Alito and Clarence Thomas, as far as, who was, not going with party lines, I guess. And in case you were wondering what was happening.
So they're already saying they want the Plan B to stay.
Yeah, and I think that's probably.
that would make sense from
smart.
a business perspective. It's hard to see why Republicans are saying you should ban a pharmaceutical that's been tested and all that and makes money.
It's been around for 26 years and
kind of against their business principle, right? So, there's going to be some dissenting Republicans on that one,
right? And so that's what's happening in the world of God versus women's rights right now. That's the way
right.
Score one for God.
Yeah.
We know which way AC
fight between God and women.
Yeah.
Right. We know which way ACB is. That her name? Amy ACB is voting.
Yeah.
But other than that,
she's not a fan
gray
of abortions. I was speaking of not a fan of abortions. I was driving around today, and this little old lady had a bumper sticker that said, "Take my hand, not my life," and it was like a little baby trying to offer its hand.
Oh, that's a nice bumper sticker.
I was like, okay, lady, like, what are you doing here? Like,
you go out. I was driving in the Texas country.
Fuck off, lady.
You get outside of Austin. There's signs that say "Unborn Lives Matter," all that shit. It's it's crazy. It's all God versus women is right. Let's talk about something a little more fun. Shall we?
Okay.
Yeah. Other than the ultimate culture war issue. Yeah.
We haven't talked about it in a while, but it was big news over the weekend what the Supreme Court was up to about the, you can still get
retrograde.
You can still have abortions that aren't really abortions in your mind. Let's talk about something a little more fun. Big weekend for cheap shots in the world of sports. First up, to our intern Joey's favorite NBA team, the Lakers. By the way, he also roots for the Yankees, the Green Bay Packers, and I think the Canadians in the NHL. I'm not
Whoever
sure.
was good in the late 90s.
The Canadians have won the most titles.
Whatever hockey team was winning championships in the late 90s is who he roots for.
Penguins.
Trophies.
And the Canadians have won the most trophies of all.
Yeah.
Anyway, in Game 3 between the Lakers and the Grizzlies, LA got off to a hot start. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but here's LeBron and Dillon Brooks, who was kind of like staring down LeBron in Game 1 after he'd make a shot. He'd go down the court, he'd stare at LeBron. He thought he was like a badass. This guy's Canadian too. Speaking of Canadians, and before the Lakers took Game 2, in Game 3. Before it all got started, their little rivalry got a little more heated. I'm not going to play the audio because it doesn't matter. But here they are chirping at each other, right? And during the warm-ups. Not sure what anyone said. It hasn't been divulged, but it's obviously, you ain't shit. You ain't shit.
Not friendly,
you ain't shit. Not friendly. So that was the very beginning of the game, right?
I like to see LeBron getting rattled a little bit. That's fun.
I think Dillon said something about like everything everywhere all at once not deserving the Oscar, and LeBron was like, "Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me?
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. Yeah, deserve the Oscar."
You don't understand the multiverse, dog.
Yeah.
You just weren't paying attention. You're just too stupid.
Right, you're too stupid.
Yeah.
Then in the first quarter, the Lakers got out to a fucking blazing start, 35-9. Was the lead. So frustration was growing. LeBron was winning the war of put your money where your mouth is between he and Dillon Brooks. And then 17 seconds into the second half, this happened. The nut shot where LeBron's dribbling up the court. Brooks seemingly looks like he's trying to go for the ball, but instead he just gives a hard. You'll see it. You'll see it another angle.
You see it. Watch. So LeBron changes angle. Pow! Jimmy tap right to the nuts.
Jimmy tap right to the nuts.
Pow!
Here's a better. There's another close up. Boom. And
boom.
Oh, he's not going for the ball.
He ain't going for that ball. He ain't going for that ball.
He's going for different balls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
LeBron goes down. Officials review it. Brooks gets ejected. Lakers win, lead the series 2-1. Brooks did not comment after the game, and LeBron had nothing interesting to say. Yeah, everyone saw. But he's not getting suspended, which is big, even though maybe he probably should have. But yeah, LeBron didn't say anything interesting. It's like, doesn't matter if you get suspended. I'm used to this shit. Whatever, just generic shit. So,
an intentional nut shot seems like something they would suspend for normally in like
100%
in a league,
but it's
like
the playoffs. But it's the playoffs, so it's like it's just too much of a swing.
I think they want to see these two.
And the commissioner was like,
Ratings.
let's let
this
him play.
Is incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I hope LeBron gets hit in the nuts again, is what the commissioner said.
Instead of a suspension, we're gonna add a couple of these guys can get 8 fouls the rest of the series.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Without fouling out. Yeah.
But is it Dillon Brooks or Devin Brooks? Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, Brooks took one for the team because he did what a lot of people want to do, which is just hit LeBron in the nuts. And so love it or hate it, I love it. Next,
it's always fun to see LeBron get flustered, but I mean, him getting hit in the nuts, that's a little over the line, though.
Dude, I hate Jimmy taps. In fact, I think they're like one of the fucking douchiest thing that you can do to someone is Jimmy tap them because it's just I can't stand them. So I think this is a low blow. I've always hated Jimmy taps. Yeah,
literally a low blow.
Literally a low blow.
Yeah.
But I think they're douchey. That's my opinion of it.
You think people Jimmy tapping other dudes just for the hell of it's a douche move? I don't know.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Some people love it though. Like it's like they live on it.
It's douchey enough. It's douchey enough where now I'm not a Lakers fan, but I hope the Lakers win that series just because that guy's such a douche with that nut.
Yeah, you can't go slapping dudes in the nuts. That's not.
Yeah, that's an intentional nut shot. Come on,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Next, another cheap shot, kind of, as Nate Diaze, who is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Dallas August 5th, was involved in a street choking in New Orleans on Friday night. Here's the video. I'm going to play it again without sound. Yeah, it's amazing. So
he's like some teenager, right?
No. Christ.
Sorry. So loud.
Sorry. I didn't mean to play that with sound. So the guy goes up to Diaz, and then Diaz just basically what you'll see
puts him to sleep.
And the other angle is
standing guillotine.
Oh, yeah. Standing
guillotine and choked him out and drops him up.
He dropped him.
He was like a college student.
He looks like Logan Paul. Yeah. And everybody kept tweeting that he had choked out Logan Paul.
Here's another angle of it that you can see. So the dude goes up to Diaz and he's like got his hands up, but Diaz kind of like grabs him almost to instigate the conflict.
Yeah, you don't want to go up to Nate Diaz at all.
If you look at Nate Diaz, he thinks you're like Stockton. Nate Diaz has been in 17,000 street fights.
No, he loves it. It's what he lives for.
Did you see if he's in a bad mood, you don't want to go walk up to him.
Did you see what happened earlier in the night?
Look at this, guys. Yeah, I got the video of that too. Look at this. There's the guy's his head's just bleeding on the sidewalk.
I mean, dropped him on the concrete.
He dropped him on a pizza sign.
Some rough treatment. But like I said, that's it. Honestly, you live and you learn, and that guy lived and learned not to go.
This is when he gets in the bad mood,
right? This is at a fight called like the Misfits fight or something.
Yeah.
And he throws a water bottle at Chase Damore, who I guess is a reality
some
TV
YouTube star. Or
yeah,
something.
he's smart. Yeah. And then later
that guy wants to fight him.
Yeah, and then later in the night they ended at the same bar, and that's how the scuffle happened.
Yeah,
and so
that guy Chase Damore, whatever his name is, he was in the boxing match earlier. He knocked out his opponent, and then as the guy was on the ground, he punched him in the face 5 times when he was on the ground, so he got DQ'd.
Oh shit!
So Chase Damore got DQ'd because he's a scumbag, and he punched the guy like 6 times when he was unconscious, and so he lost the fight. But then he went in the stands and started chirping at Diaz, who watched him get DQ'd, and he hucked a water bottle and hit him in the face.
Yeah, he threw it as hard as he could.
Nate was ready to fight somebody in New Orleans this weekend.
Oh, yeah, everyone
on
ready
Bourbon
to fight
Street.
Everyone.
It's like his favorite like venue for a fight. Bourbon Street.
It's like he's in a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
You walk up to Nate Diaz in the street, or anyone that looks anything looks like Nate Diaz, you don't want to give them the wrong impression. They're going to
hanging out with that guy must be so stressful.
Oh God.
So Chase Damore tweeted out, Nate Diaz, top 5 soft dudes in U.S. history. Jake Paul's gonna have a field day with you. Jake Paul and Logan made some stupid video where it was like they used like a snorkel, like here's how you defend against a choke versus Nate Diaz, and he put a snorkel in. But then this is funny. Conor McGregor got in on it, and he said his first tweet, which was at 5:53 a.m. I mince Nate in the clinch these days. Actually, anyone in the clinch. Minced.
He's going to mince anyone
He's going to mince anyone in the clinch.
He's lost like his last 6 fights.
Yeah. And then 1 minute later, he thought of something better to say at 5:54, like left like bolognese, you go against me in the clinch. So, yeah. More. He wanted to add sauce to the mince. Yeah.
Delicious mincing.
Yeah. Then a few minutes later, he says, "I'll make you paste to spread on me bread if you go up against me in the clinch. Meat paste on me bread." So he's just more and more like ground meat comparisons.
He was hungry.
Yeah.
He's eating a meat pie.
Yeah.
And
Now he's gonna clinch, get you in the clinch. No, that last tweet was fake. But yeah.
What a psycho.
Yeah, what a
psycho. He must have been up from the night before, right?
Oh, I'm sure he's just up all night. Yeah, 5:50, or he's like training. I don't know, but that's early as fuck for anyone to be get riled up.
Dude, Connor seems like he wakes up riled up though.
Yeah,
let's say that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna skip this one. Well, no, fuck it. I'll just do it. We don't have Pat today, so for you listening, most of you guys listening to the show, it's now Monday. The worst day of the week for America's workforce. Time to go back to the grind. Like likely a little hungover still, feeling fat from eating like shit over the weekend. Just, having too good of a time, right? Well, don't worry, because a new craze is sweeping offices across the nation thanks to this woman who is Marissa Jo Mays. She is the startup co-founder of Spacetime Monotasking and a digital creator from Phoenix, Arizona. Here's her IG page where you get an idea, and all those are titled Bare Minimum. Yeah, the dog in the hat.
That's cute.
She coined the phrase Bare Minimum Mondays, which, as you guessed it, is where you show up to work on Monday in dog shit condition and you do the absolute bare minimum.
So
isn't that just a Monday?
Isn't that Friday?
Isn't that what everyone does anyway?
Yeah. So that's just so
every Monday.
So every Monday and Friday is this.
Right.
That's how you. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
This is another one of those stupid trends like quiet quitting.
The 3-day work weeks.
Just people have always done this. There's just a fucking hashtag name for it.
Now there's a name for it. Yep.
Now there's a hashtag name. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
She said,
what she's doing is bringing light to the situation and going to get people busted as well.
Right. She's an innovator of
she's
snitching.
fucking over everyone.
She's snitching out on everyone. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I hate her. So she said she was panicked. She got the Sunday scares.
Quitting. Why are you telling on yourself, man?
Yeah.
Just quiet quit in silence, like everybody has for generations.
I know. I don't
This
get
is some retrograde bullshit.
This
is definitely retrograde, Wes. You're right.
Yeah,
it is. So she believes that alleviating the pressure and choosing to cut herself some slack on Monday has helped her out. So here's her guide to losing your job one Monday at a time, okay? This is literally what she says. First, don't touch your laptop or phone for the first 2 hours you're at work. She says this gives you time to prioritize your state of mind before immediately worrying about what other people need from me. Your clients, your bosses, fuck them for the first 2 hours on a Monday. After the whole weekend... Yeah,
they don't think. Do they think you showed up 2 hours late?
Yeah,
right. I don't know. If somebody has a big issue, you're like, well, you're just like fuck them. Like, what?
Don't touch it.
I'm not turning on my computer, so it's like that's like not punching in. Like, there's no digital trail. You're there.
Well, also, like, what if your business was to like, check people into somewhere where maybe you're making like a single mom like wait in a lobby somewhere with her kids for 2 hours because you don't want to barely Monday.
You need to immediately log in and then send like one quick meaningless email to everyone and then go for a 2 hour break.
It's the most ridiculous policy ever. Yeah. What an idiot.
You look like the biggest slack
stupid
fuck ever. Number two, next, only do 3 or 4 hours of actual work max. Quote, the work segment every day.
That's pretty much every day.
That should be the
3 to 4.
What other rules are there?
Yeah, just take a bunch of breaks and work 3 to 4 hours. That makes sense. Yeah, don't show up don't make it look like you showed up 2 hours late. Just do that one. Yeah.
Hey, this chick, whatever your name is, there's a name for it already. It's called half-assing. Literally. Yeah. Half-assing. It's half the hours.
It's called most of corporate America.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's most people work 3 to 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Even though they're there.
Bare minimum meaning Monday. Yeah.
Why does everything have to be branded now? No. Like it's not
laziness is branded.
There's already nicknames and phrases for all this shit. There just has to be like a new social media trend for everything that's always existed.
This is called give your boss high blood pressure Monday.
Right. Yeah. Right. They've been waiting on me all weekend, but they can wait another 2 hours for me to get back to them.
Yeah.
No problem.
Tell your boss your 18th grandma died Monday. I mean, this shit has existed forever.
Right.
Make your boss regret hiring you every Monday.
Yeah, exactly. So, do what you're going to do anyway, which is not do shit on Monday, but you can now know that you're participating in bare minimum Monday.
Hashtag it.
Right.
Just hashtag yourself doing nothing.
Movement.
Bare minimum Monday.
Your selfie at the desk.
Yeah.
Put it on Instagram. Bare minimum Monday.
Shit.
Not logging in yet.
Fourth bathroom break of the hour. Bare minimum Monday. Which brings us to the
cream of the crop.
Speaking a little crazy during a retrograde, check out this story. Another flight attendant who refused to clean up a passenger's mess and delayed a flight for more than an hour, trying to find out who spilled a large amount of fried rice in the center aisle of the plane. Here's the news story.
Delay that is a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah, we're all over here shaking our heads. A Southwest Airlines flight from Atlanta to Houston was delayed for an hour because of spilled rice in the aisle. Matt Doherty is talking to a passenger tonight about the commotion the mess caused.
The story sounds almost too ridiculous to be true, but of course there is video to prove it. The woman we spoke with tonight says she and her fellow passengers got a tongue lashing from flight attendants when no one would confess to the mess.
It was the end of a long day. They'd apparently had a complete crew change. I'm sure they were tired. We were all tired.
Jennifer Shopper says she and her fellow passengers couldn't wait to get off the ground Saturday night. She was headed back to Houston from her trip to Atlanta. It wasn't until all the passengers had taken their seats that she saw it, right in the center of the aisle.
I didn't see it happen, but apparently one of the last passengers to board spilled a large amount of what looked like some sort of Asian fried rice situation. And the flight attendant was really, really mad about it.
Mad enough to keep everyone grounded.
She went up and down the aisle and asked each passenger one by one, loudly, who spilled the rice.
The situation continued
smell
to
your
get
breath.
more tense, definitely more awkward, gauging from the expressions on the passengers' faces.
Another flight attendant came and put a paper towel on it and again said, we are not leaving this gate until someone cleans up this rice.
Like a
But
dog
still,
shit.
nobody would confess.
But again, I don't think you want to walk through it.
She gets on the loudspeaker, says again that we're not leaving until this rice is cleaned. So she
It
cleans
seems
the
like you could
rice,
just
but
scoop it
the
up.
entire time she's yelling at all the passengers about how nobody was
There it
raised
is,
right
sweeping it, yeah.
and how disappointed she is in all of us.
About an hour after the rice was first discovered and after a sharp scolding from the crew, the plane finally took off. Jennifer says whoever made the mess.
After that, I don't think that they would want to admit to it, but and they should have cleaned up their mess.
So,
That's sure. It's true.
Well, so now upon landing, someone did tell on the man who did it, and he was. Here's the other video of him being.
Yeah, but
dragged.
what happened? Yeah.
Shocking scenes filmed on cell phone.
Oh my God. This is wrong. Oh my God.
Fellow passengers said he had blood on his face.
It was an Asian guy.
It was an Asian guy. That, of course, that's the old story about the guy who got dragged off for refusing to give up his seat to a United Airlines employee.
Oh,
Wasn't the
man.
real guy.
Dude,
But you
how
know
pissed would you be if that flight attendant is just holding you for
Well,
an
you have,
hour?
don't they have
over
to
a fucking
explain?
spilled
Isn't
tray?
there like a line? You know, like you get in a queue to take off, so they have to explain to the higher ups at air traffic control and everywhere.
Right, like,
oh, we're not taking off because there's some spilt rice.
We got some fried
in the
rice
cabin.
in the cabin.
Bro,
Got a little
how
bit-
are you
got a
not
little bit of rice in the cabin?
Just stepping up and being like, it's not fucking mine, but I'll clean it up so we can get,
That's
get
what I
on
was
our
gonna
way.
say
Yeah.
during the video. Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, just somebody get out in the aisle and be like, I just want to leave.
I
The
would
guy
have.
next to us just looking down at it.
You know what?
Yeah,
you get,
that old man was pissing me off just sitting there right next to it. He could have just scooped it up with his hand the whole
You would
time.
get you would get free drinks.
Oh yeah, you'd be a
You
hero.
would get free drinks from the flight attendant that has a
Yeah,
problem.
she'd
with
be like,
rice.
"You were
100%.
raised right, honey," and
Yeah.
then you get because I'm assuming from the description of the tongue lashings by everybody that it was something like along those lines. And also, the lady didn't need to point out that fried rice is Asian. That's pretty clear. Like everybody knows. There's no other culture that
some
does
sort of Asian rice. Some sort of Asian rice. It wasn't like Spanish rice. It was like Asian style rice.
I mean, at least 8 people knew who did it, though. I mean, kudos to them for not selling the person out. Like, that's no snitching. Kudos to them.
You obviously see when someone spills a massive amount of
exactly who it was
of fried rice. Everyone knew who it was. Yeah. The guy's,
it was the Asian guy.
Where else? Where did the container go that he had to scramble and hide?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this live comment from Rad Dad. Wait, hold on. Look at this. A Marine buddy of mine was a police officer on that United flight and dragged the guy out. The Asian guy.
That's amazing. That was fucked up.
Thoughts to Bomb Mom. Rad Dad. He had a crazy day.
So, I mean, these flight attendants aren't having these messes. So, watch your P's and Q's when you get on these flights because these flight attendants are
they're closest to Mercury up there in the skies.
That's true.
You're right.
Listen, they've had
the communication
affects them the most.
They are the most affected by Mercury.
So this woman was in severe retrograde. Yeah.
Oh,
when she had the meltdown.
Spill rice around a flight attendant during Mercury in retrograde and watch what happens. Watch what happens.
You saw. You actually just saw.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you, you're all children. That were raised like animals.
You better keep the planes clean until May 13th.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go, retrograde. And hey, if Mercury being in retrograde has you feeling a little off, or your girlfriend cheats on you every retrograde, you need someone to talk to, we have just the people. BetterHelp. BetterHelp.
Yeah.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Yeah. And sorry, I just need to get down here. I don't know why my paste got so fucked up. So Mercury. It's easy to get caught up. Yeah, Mercury. This is a retrograde instance right here.
Communication.
Well, this is what you got to talk to your therapist at BetterHelp about right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The dealing with this Mercury and retrograde situation.
Exactly. So this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and it's easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you, right? And you never take a moment to think about what you need for yourself: job, clients, family, friends, pets. And if you aren't taking care of yourself, you can't be the best to take care of the ones you love and want to take care of too. But when we spend all of our time giving, can leave us feeling a little stretched, maybe burned out. You guys ever feel burned out? Right now, maybe a little burned out? Well,
bare minimum Sunday nights.
That's right. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. I've talked about my experiences with therapy and getting sober and finding a better balance of life, and I can tell you, therapy is the best thing you can do for yourself to get started on a better path to living. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/hardfactor today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hardfactor. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for everybody. It's great for everybody. I use BetterHelp, and I love my therapist Nick. He's the best.
Nice.
So
There you go.
they'll set you up. And I was having trouble finding one locally too, so it was quicker.
Shout out Nick.
Just go through BetterHelp. Yeah, Nick's doing great, man. All right, let's take it over to the surprise corner real quick. I know it's been a while, right? Like Hunter Biden news. There was a ton of it. It was like a never-ending waterfall of Hunter Biden news when we first started the show from 2018.
What's he been up to, Will?
2020. Well, not much actually. Just hiding from investigations, as it turns out, and that's kind of why we haven't heard anything about Hunter Biden since
Joe's got him in a basement in Delaware somewhere, just covered in coke and whores.
Right, since his father
stay
took
in the
over
basement.
The Oval Office, right? It seems like it's easier to keep Hunter sort of out of the headlines. But skeletons. What do they say? Like they come out of the closet one day, or they'll pop out, or like birds come home to roost, something like that. Surprise! Not only was the Hunter Biden laptop not Russian disinformation in the end, as we've covered before, it turns out that the letter Remember that letter that was signed by all those former intelligence officials to call it Russian disinformation when the information about the laptop first dropped in the New York Post. And then it was used by the media en masse to dismiss the story. That was all just done by a simple request made by A. Blinken, current Secretary of State, then working on the Biden campaign, to former CIA director under Obama. And this guy's name is Mike Morell, who Blinken asked to make this document.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we'll do it.
That headshot's got some secrets. Got some.
Yeah.
What do you, I'll sign whatever, Abe.
Yeah.
Who do you want
whatever
killed?
It takes.
Yeah.
Got a few keypads in his house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so before we move on real quick to like finish this story, and I know that like at the time, you know, it was a big like, well, who are the fact checkers, right? Who's the disinformationer? And now we kind of know. And before we move on, a real quick clip from all the other media companies about the dangers of disinformation that have played on other radio news shows, local news shows over the last few years. Here, just make sure. In the clip, the guy says you'll never watch the video, but I mean, this is just
the sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media.
The sharing of biased and false news
has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media simply aren't true without
You're saying the same thing over and over again?
Yeah. It's one of those things. Last week tonight, where they say the same exact thing.
Right, they get like a script to read. Yeah.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Right, they got the script.
They got a script from like Wes said, from up top, and they have to read it. Yeah.
Soros.
Yeah, well, somebody. So whoever owns all those local news stations read the same exact script about the dangers of disinformation. And they, blasted that out several times over the last few years. And
Why
now
would you be watching the news instead of us, though? I don't even.
That's so crazy, right? When you see clips like that, that's
what
insane.
are y'all doing? Yeah.
Well, the fried rice one was good, but now ex-CIA director Morell has admitted under oath before Congress that Secretary of State Antony Blinken, requests for the false information and helping Joe Biden defeat Donald Trump are the only reasons all those intelligence officers lied and told the nation that the laptop was Russian disinformation, when in fact it was not, which of course led to the mass censorship of the New York Post article that, dropped the information about the laptop, and anybody who mentioned that article on social media in the weeks leading up to the 2020 presidential election. And you might say that's some pretty serious election tampering. You might.
It is. It was politically charged. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's been a few in a row now. A few elections in a row that have been tampered with.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever going to. I don't think there's going to be an election that's not tampered with in the future.
Right, Mark?
Yeah.
It's getting a little silly. House Intelligence Committee member Jim Jordan leaked the interview contents late last week, knowing how bad it would be for the Biden administration. And at this point, like Mark says, it almost seems silly to even have elections in the United States if the intelligence community is going to put their thumb on the scale of every single one and they get caught immediately afterwards.
They keep getting
nothing happens to them. Hillary's emails,
Hillary, exactly.
Laptop,
they keep doing it. Yeah, they keep doing it. And it's from both sides. It's not just
right.
Hillary's emails was censoring fucking her, and then they fucked Trump. The next
one.
What are they doing?
Fucking with the elections, Mark.
Taking in money or something? Or?
Who knows? The list goes on. Yeah, it sucks.
Shadow government, man.
Oh, yeah.
State, brother. And speaking of the feds protecting their own, CNN reports that a whistleblower in the IRS says that he has proof that current Attorney General Merrick Garland is preventing the DOJ investigations into Hunter Biden on multiple tax and international finance violations from being pursued further, despite Garland claiming to be taking the case very seriously under oath. It's been open since 2018, and still no charges have been brought 5 years later in 2020.
Yeah. That guy's got an axe to grind because he was going to be in the sweetest position for life, the Supreme Court.
He's got
an axe to grind. Yeah. I can see Merrick being a little bit salty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Doing whatever he wants. He's going rogue.
Yeah. Maybe not doing what he says he's doing. Surprise. Turns out the fact checkers are the real disinformation a lot of the times. How could we have possibly seen that one coming? That's a surprise. Such a surprise.
Yeah. So Hunter's getting preferential treatment in the investigation because if they investigate it real, they might see that big guy was taking, this money, that money, whatever.
I think the Chinese money is the biggest issue, right?
Yeah.
And so there's going to have to be congressional investigations, and they've been delayed now by the DOJ. Right. It looks like.
If I were able to do the Matrix thing where you're like, you get to make me an actor or something. Joe, when he was like, take me out of the Matrix, but put me back in Clueless as like an actor or something like that. Yeah. I would want to go back in as Hunter Biden.
Dude.
Hunter Biden's got the sweetest fucking run. He had the sweetest life.
He had a great run.
He did have
so much heavy drugs and whores and
he did fuck his brothers.
Big countries.
His
Look, you got to be selfish. No, I mean, but it's good for him. It's good for him. It's not good for anyone else. He's taking bribes from the top governments. He's getting. I mean. This is a purely selfish move.
He's living like he was from the Matrix.
As Hunter Biden, yeah, exactly.
He might be from the Matrix.
Yeah. Maybe if I had control of the over everything, I would definitely plug myself in as Hunter Biden. Yeah.
As a sociopath, like a senator's son or something.
Specifically Hunter Biden. Yeah.
He's like the top one. He's the best example of those. And here's another real shocker, especially for whoever owned the stuff, as the largest gold heist in Canadian history was pulled off last week at the Toronto Pearson International Airport. The heist took place on Monday, April 17th, and it was so surprising to the cops that police inspector Stephen Dweebestein.
Hey, Dweebestein.
Dweebestein. Oh, man, that's tough.
You got a picture of this loser?
Oh, yeah.
Steinberg.
Police inspector Stephen Dweebenstein, spelled Dweebenstein, but definitely pronounced Dweebenstein, told this to the media on Thursday once he hadn't identified the suspects or location of the gold or the identity of the plane, where it was coming from or where it was going to. So nothing at all. He didn't identify nothing at all. But he did say this, though, 3 days after the gold was stolen. He said, what I can say is that the container had a high value shipment. It did not contain, did contain gold, but was not exclusive to gold and contained other items of monetary value. And he's right, $20 million Canadian of monetary value of gold and other items. That's 14.8 million US. Largest.
I thought it was 100 million. I thought it was 100 million worth of gold
from the airport.
From the airport, yeah.
No, it was 20 million Canadian, 18.4 million.
And they have no idea who it is. Just as soon as I get someone takes me off this fence from the atomic wedgie that I have I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Right. So the reason he looks really nervous right there, you see him at the press conference, he doesn't look like a confident man. No. And the reason why is because the cargo was stolen from a public-facing side of a warehouse leased to a third party on the airport grounds, where the valuables had been loaded after landing at the airport. So the security is so weak, somebody just rolled up to a public-facing warehouse, like hangar, where they just then drove away with $20 million worth of gold. And
no one knows. They have no clue.
The Canadian authorities are clueless as to what happened.
The other reason he looks so unconfident is because he sees his bullies making the shove in locker motion off camera because they're about to cram his ass in a locker when he gets back inside the
Dweebenstein. You better not fuck up this press conference.
And he leads Dweebenstein, get in the locker.
Yeah, No leads.
Does that look like a face of a guy with leads? Put it back up. No That's a no leads face right there.
It is. Yeah,
that is no leads. Absolutely no leads.
None coming either.
Oh boy, this one's going to be tough. Coincidentally, the Toronto airport is often used by gold mines in northern Ontario for shipping golden bullion. And this seems to obviously be a targeted event on whatever plane it was. Again, they have not revealed the identity of like where it was coming from, which plane it was, where it was going to. But it potentially
an incredible heist, dude.
Could be one of those gold bullion shipments, right? It could be like
someone that knew about where it was, obviously.
Absolutely, targeted. Yeah,
100%. I mean, it was a well planned job.
Yeah.
Someone that works for the company that didn't show back up to work.
And the airport, yeah.
Yeah. I think
someone that works
definitely inside knowledge from the airport because of you would have to know when that thing was going to be in that warehouse.
It could have been someone from the gold company and someone from the airport, like, and then someone like it could have been a double inside job, but like obviously there was some intel on the security, where it was going to be located and everything, because they got in and out. No one even has a fucking clue.
There's a documentary on I watched about like the greatest heists ever or something, and one of them was kind of like this, where like they were storing just cash in a warehouse and like a airport, and all they had to do was get in through the gate, and the airport worker knew where it was, and they just backed the car up.
Yeah, that was the UFC. That was the UFC fighter. He was
it?
Smith.
Yeah.
It was in the UK. It was like the largest money heist of all time.
Something like
guy,
that. Yeah.
This guy who's famous. He fought
the
the UFC a couple times.
of it.
He knocked out some superstar on the streets, and he's in jail for life. It's some famous MMA fighter who was like one of the masterminds behind it, and they got like 100 million cash.
Right, it was crazy.
Well, it's like
they told the wrong guy about it. Yeah.
The Goodfellas heist is similar, where they just took the trucks, right?
Yeah.
And that was from JFK, right? So like just stealing the cargo once it lands is like a classic heist move. Just incredible that these thieves were able to pull it off.
Lee Murray. Google Lee. Check out Lee Murray and his heist.
I think that was the same one. I'm not sure. I thought this was an American heist. I'm not
sure.
Well,
he's serving 25 years to life, and it was the largest bank heist of all time.
This was a bank. This was an airport.
Oh, they got the money. The largest money heist of all time. They got 53 million pounds. And then they got it out, but they got caught like later. So like they were.
Well, this is more impressive than that. They got away so far.
Well, I'm seeing it was $100 million worth of gold. I don't know if maybe the value went down, but yeah, because I remember I saw the story when it first came out, and they're saying it's over $100 million worth of gold.
That would be so awesome.
From this fucking airport. Yeah.
Everything I saw said 20 million Canadian, 14.8 American.
Yeah.
I see 104 million, 1.6 tons. I mean,
yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they changed it. But
one says 15 million.
The initial
one says 100 million. It's anywhere between 15 and 100 million.
I think the initial report. No. I think so. What I told you was that this fucking guy, this police officer, the Mountie in charge,
he doesn't know how much was stolen.
He didn't even come out. He didn't even come out and give the details till Thursday. The shit
because he doesn't know the details still.
Yeah. So maybe that was the initial number, 100 million. Now I think it sounds like they're walking.
It's
back.
impressive, regardless.
Maybe it's more. Maybe it is the 100 million. Yeah. But now they're saying the 20.
What was that movie? The Die Hard movie, where they robbed the gold from the.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Pretty cool.
Well,
I mean, like,
cool. I love a good heist.
Yeah, it's a great heist.
And no one was killed, right? So no violence is cool.
Completely. They got away so clean. That's what's crazy about it, right?
It's pretty cool. You got to root for him at this point, right?
Pretty cool. Another cool surprise too. And so since like not all of them were good surprises necessarily, here's one that's definitely good. Over the last 3 years, scientists have discovered a ton of fungi, mold, and bacteria that can eat plastic on a massive scale.
Nice, dude.
So maybe all those things can eat our plastics, excess plastics for us, but also hopefully not kill us in the process of doing that. Who knows? Maybe though. Kind of a good surprise as well.
That's cool.
He's a fun guy, He's a fun guy. That is good news. All right, you guys want to head to South Carolina for another life lesson on what not to do in terms of when you break up with your ex, you shouldn't live with them. Like, right? We all know that, right? Yeah. We all know that.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're with your,
I've done it before.
How'd that go?
Terribly. Just about as good as the retrograde.
Yeah. Right. So this is a life lesson. If you break up with someone, do not continue to live with them if you're serious about the breakup. If you're trying to like make things work and you're both like not going to see other people, maybe. But if you break up with someone and you're like, well, fuck you, let's move on, don't live with them. And that's what happened here in Myrtle Beach. 24-year-old Alan Riggs continued to live with his ex-wife after they got, divorced or split. And recently this weekend, in fact, he was kept up all night by the loud sex noises his ex-wife and her new boyfriend were making in her bedroom of their duplex that has paper.
No, you know why she's doing that? You know why she's doing that to prove a point.
Yeah.
Whoa, she's screaming to what is this guy's problem? How do you let yourself get to this point where you're getting screamed at from the sex noises of your ex to get the point proven to you?
She's literally getting done into the wall that connects to her ex.
Why you can never let yourself get to this point? You have to cut bait before this.
You guys know who this happened with me with, and she moved into the guest room in my house, and every night she wouldn't come home from work was like torture. You know, like oh, she's not home. She's staying out tonight.
She's with some dude getting railed.
Yeah. At least she didn't have sex in the house. I would have not allowed that. That would have been too much for me. But it was just as bad living with my own imagination when she wouldn't come home.
That's either way, Wes. Well, this guy didn't have to use this. This guy didn't have to use his imagination, Wes. It was quite clear what was going on in the next room.
There would have been some dead people in the house.
Yeah.
She's just telling him how it is. And this guy, he puts it to me way better than you ever did. And she's screaming that through the wall at him while he's listening to it. I mean, how many
orgasms is she having? A lot more than she had with Riggs.
So many of them are fake, though. He's got.
I mean, it might turn her on just the fact that he's being tortured in there. So she might be giving herself orgasms mentally. It reminds me of the scene in The Getaway when Jennifer Tilly just starts banging the criminal that kidnaps her and her husband. And that's her after her husband he's in pain, he's listening to them.
He does not like what's going on.
Yeah, that's a real Riggs scenario. Also, she had cockhold syndrome, and also if you remember The Getaway, here's the poster for that movie. What is that? What's going on in that poster?
Alec Baldwin aiming a gun at somebody.
Yep. Nice.
With his hand on the trigger.
They're all lucky to be alive because on that movie set because Baldwin shoots a gun like 50 times in that movie. He's shooting left and right.
Did you guys see them?
They're probably like
holding a gun backwards on the Rust set. They've already started filming again, and he grabbed a gun by the barrel and somebody handed it to him.
They can't. They've got to give them fake guns, right? And just CGI it in.
I know. That should only be using plastic.
By the way, this movie poster is $99. I almost bought it because how cool would that be to have on your wall? Dude, Alec Baldwin pointing a gun. Pretty good. Pretty good. Might get it. Might treat myself. But back to Riggs and Myrtle Beach. Yeah, back to Riggs and Myrtle Beach. His ex-wife was just getting loudly railed out Friday night into the morning hours through midnight until 1 a.m. And Riggs couldn't take it. He tried to turn up his Linkin Park Spotify playlist to full volume, but the sounds may have been drowned out, but the shaking of the walls and the floors weren't. He could feel the vibrations, like even a deaf guy knew what was going on in that room. So Riggs started banging. It's bad, dude. So Riggs started banging back on the wall, shouting things like, "I'm going to kill myself. You never screamed like this out for me.
Oh, no.
What are you killing you both? I'm killing you both.
There's about to be a murder-suicide in here.
Was there a circus going on over there? What's with the noises?"
Oh, no, that's only going to make them louder, Riggs.
Decapitate you both.
Yeah, it's tough. She's just getting stuffed, and Riggs is banging on the wall, crying. Grunts are turned up to high, and his banging on the wall definitely only revved them up more. It's like
absolutely, dude. You're gonna cry about.
It's like opening the gate for a bull.
Who is this monster that she's fucking? By the way, that just heartless monster.
He loves her. Well, I would say this about the monster, Wes. The new boyfriend can probably kick it. He can probably kick his ass, and he probably
got to be twice his size.
He's probably hung like a donkey. He's just drinking orange juice out of the bottle with this huge flaccid cock flopping around.
Oh yeah, exactly.
In between sessions of smashing Riggs' ex-wife's box to smithereens. Riggs is still deciding to live under the same roof as them for some reason.
He's eating his leftovers.
Oh, he's eating everything, drinking out of the canisters, the milk carton.
Sucks, bro.
I am tired. She's a real vixen, she takes it out of me. She took it out of you too, right? You know what I'm talking about.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, you know how it is.
It's a real tomcat,
Yeah. Thanks for not loosening her up for me with your tiny penis. But the sounds of his ex's sixth or seventh orgasm were a bridge too far for Riggs, who finally snapped. That's one too many orgasms, he said. And the banging on the wall wasn't working, so he had to up the ante. He went to his car and retrieved his firearm that he keeps in the car in case he needs to kill someone in a road rage incident.
Okay.
God. That's where you keep the gun in the car. And he went right up to his ex's door and he knocked on it, and then he said, "Hey, I can cock something too," and he loudly cocked the gun in a threatening manner, which didn't do anything. They continued to fuck. Eventually, the new boyfriend momentarily ran out of steam, and the ex-wife walked out probably bow-legged to get a glass of water or four after the marathon sex romp. And that's when Riggs ran up to her with his firearm still on him, and he pointed it at her, and he said, "If you go back upstairs to that man, I'm going to kill you, and you're going to die." She said, "You're going to die." And she responded, "Yeah, I'll literally be fucked to death." and I'm probably going to go do it. She didn't say that, but that's what she was thinking.
That's what he heard.
Though.
Yeah, that's what he
never
heard.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either the gun from your bullet or his bullcock is going to, I'm dead either way.
She's like, yeah, right, you pussy.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. Then she went upstairs and called the cops on speakerphone before loudly 69ing as close to the vent in Riggs' room as possible, just getting sucked and fucked again. And the cops showed up. And when the cops showed up, Riggs was nearly let off when he explained to the cops the scenario that his ex-wife is banging a man much better than him in bed, and that he can hear the wild moans every night through the paper-thin walls. One officer even pulled his gun on the ex-wife. Just
you know what you're doing to this man.
Eventually the sergeant calmed him down, made him holster his gun, and they had to take Riggs in for felony domestic charges.
Oh my God.
He didn't. I mean, what an idiot.
He's got to get out of that house.
Why is he in the house in the first place? I mean,
because they can't afford rent by himself.
How many?
Wes, I don't care, man.
Look how tormented he is.
Wes, you live in your car before you put yourself through that.
I'm
all he can hear. Look at his dead eyes. All that's going on in his head is her moaning.
Yeah, dude, he'll never forget that. He'll never be able to.
It's the soundtrack to his life.
Not only is he in the clink now, he's never going to be able to forget that noise forever.
Oh man, what do you think? What do you think she's doing? He's like, what is she doing right now?
But I mean, he just put himself through it. Why are you doing it, Riggs? All you had to do was leave the fucking house.
Riggs, just go live in a 1-bedroom shithole. Just get out of there, Riggs. Get out of there, Riggs. All right, but look, you can't live with your exes unless you're trying to work things out, and you both agree to not date anyone. Quick bonus dog motivational Monday news. We did not win the Texas lottery this time, which is okay. It will be that much sweeter when we win the Mega Millions. And when we do, we're gonna head to Hive Island. Hive Island will be ours, and that's it's a great time to be in the market for islands too. Because check this out. This is a beautiful 25-acre island off the coast of Scotland called Barloco. It has a beach and quote outstanding views, and the sales price for this bad boy is 150,000 pounds or $187,000.
$150,000, eh?
That's not bad.
The water's 20 degrees.
Look, you get used to it. You get used to it. You get wetsuits. You get used to it. You get wetsuits.
We get wetsuits. We get a submarine, maybe. Yeah.
Look, you get used to it. 187,000.
No, wetsuits aren't bad. I mean, they do make you feel fatter than you already are.
You get used to it.
When you're fat, zipping up a wetsuit, that's a feeling. It's the same thing with a life jacket. Man, that's a bad feeling.
I hope I never put another wetsuit
anything
again.
Are gross.
That's like a hardcore zipper neoprene, and then you have to just sort of like suck your fat in with it. That's a feeling that makes you want to lose weight.
Gives you an anxiety attack.
The stench in wetsuits, something fierce. But look, the price is right. Maybe we'll find more, temperate waters, but it's just a nice starting point. $187,000 for a beautiful island, right size. It's good. There's a lot of islands out there for the right price.
I like it. Also, more good news on a Monday.
Not on the same page about islands. I don't think, but
just you don't like a Nordic island. Is what you're. I get.
I'm just throwing out price ranges, okay? Don't shoot the
Caribbean. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Look,
we get
relax.
We get it.
Don't you guys?
I mean,
you want Nordic, a Scottish island?
I'd probably
for a guy that's so scared of sharks, he's getting us to pretty warm waters, But
the great whites don't live in the Caribbean.
Yeah. Now.
Hey, more good news too, though. And this is a Monday, so this is rare. More good news on the Monday. You can, I think, see like the Northern Lights if you're in the United States. United States right
dude,
now.
like 13 states can see them. Like
it's crazy.
Even like Nebraska, it goes like all of the northern states, and then like the Midwest. It goes.
Can you see them, Will?
That's got to be retrograde. No, I'm not north enough. I'm just Idaho north of me can, but I'm not north enough for them.
I want to see
Montana and Idaho. I think can see it, but I'm not Nevada, not northern Nevada.
Bucket list. That's gonna do it for hard.
Dooley in Canada, one of our Canadian listeners, he lives so far north, he sees them just constantly, and it's very beautiful.
I think he was making a joke, but I'm not sure. He said he has such a good view because he's like an uninhabitable North Canada.
No, not a joke. He sees them like every night.
No, but he said he can whistle and like make them dance. And I don't know.
I think
that was probably a joke. That was probably a joke. But I mean, I don't even know. But I don't even know because the Northern Lights maybe you could. I don't know.
So mystical when you've never seen them.
Could be serious. Yeah, but he's buddies with the Northern Lights for sure. Lucky bastard. He's 5 hours from an airport. The closest.
Hey, look, we got a Brandon watching live.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, Brandon. That guy's physical.
Have
you got any fights since the show started, Brandon?
The home of basketball, Brandon. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Massachusetts is the home of basketball. Am I right? Or Connecticut?
Don't punch me, Brandon.
Yeah, Mass Brandon just you added to my theory about Brandon versus Brandon.
Yeah.
Although personally the best fighter I know probably is named Brendan, but I do know several wild and crazy Brandons. So.
Yeah, it's a numbers game overall.
It's a numbers
game. Brandons are going to win that fight. Yeah. All right, let's bring up the wheel.
Is it just us three again tomorrow?
Yes. Okay. Pat's on Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this weekend.
Okay,
cool.
All right,
I got your coffee.
All right, we'll have the coffee.
We will do it. We will be there. We'll be there tomorrow. And what you need to do today is bare minimum Monday and have a great fucking day.